What a mess. You can see the folks behind us. They are all waiting to rebook to try to get to their locations. Meanwhile, we're learning an awful lot more about what caused all of this, because within the last hour, we were the only local television station to speak with Paul Bowers. He is the CEO of Georgia Power, and he told us kind of what happened and what hopefully they're going to do to prevent something like this from ever happening again. Now, according to him, the fire actually broke out at the switch that operates between both the primary system and the backup system. So when the fire broke out at that point, there was no way for them to be able to turn on the backup system because the switch that would do so was also on fire. That fire then damaged the tubes that take electricity into the airport. Now, those tubes travel along the plane train tunnel. That's where they come in. And so they're trying to decide if maybe they ought to move them, or maybe if they should possibly encase them in concrete so that something like this wouldn't happen again. One thing he definitely did want to do was express his apologies to everyone who was inconvenienced. Again, here's a little bit of that interview that we had.
A switchgear failed, and which ignited, that caused the cable to be burned, which ultimately caused the outage at the airport. And we're adjacent to the trains. So the question is, do we move it? And is there availability to move that those wires? Or do we just concrete encase them to protect them even further from that type of event?
All right, let's take a look at some photos that Georgia Power has provided to us. This is the Georgia Power crews in there trying to fix what they can to put an end to this. Another photo showing just some of the damage that was caused by this fire. As you can imagine, really inconvenient for a number of folks, thousands of them, including the people you see behind us. Coming up in the next half hour, you're going to hear from just some of those people and about what they're trying to do to get to their locations. And they're not going to get there probably anytime soon. Reporting live from the airport, I'm Mark Teichner for Good Day Atlanta.
Okay, Mark, thank you. Meanwhile, other airlines at Hartsfield-Jackson are also trying to return to business as usual this morning. But as you can see, it is anything but. Internet is still out at several kiosks, adding new obstacles for already frustrated passengers. Our team coverage continues with Natalie Fultz. She joins us live now with the details. And Natalie, yeah, those folks have a long day in front of them.
Good morning to you. Yeah, the mood here is pretty tense. A lot of these folks are really frustrated because they've been just pulled around the last 24 hours and really don't know what they're doing, where they're going, and when they'll be able to get out of Atlanta. And these lines are so long, and it just seems like as the morning's progressing, they're getting longer and longer. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see what it looks like here at Spirit Airlines. We're told that the system is down and has been down for the last few hours on the self-service kiosk. You could see earlier that it says there's no internet connection. People are waiting in this line, but there's been very little movement for the last few hours. It's kind of been one person checking in and then in a wait, and then the next person checking in. The ticket agents are actually having to manually check people in, write down their confirmation numbers, and use their own cell phones to get them through. Now, other airlines are also facing similar issues with these long lines. All of the repercussions from this power outage, just thousands just trying to figure out when they're going to be able to get out of here. Some have been here all night, others arrived this morning, but we spoke with a few people who've been here since 2 a.m. They actually had to be bused from other cities to get to the world's busiest airport.
Some employees from Spirit told me to call a number, and I called the number and they're redirecting me back to the employee, but they cannot do nothing because the system is still down. So it's really, just crazy. Everything's messed up, and just, a really bad holiday, really bad holiday.
Totally understandable that so many are frustrated, but what we've also seen this morning is actually a lot of people are being really patient and understanding about this whole process, but most of the feeling and mood is pretty tense here. So if you are coming out to Atlanta, definitely check on your flight to make sure it is not canceled. We've seen Spirit cancel many flights already this morning, and arrive with some patience if you can. Reporting live from Hartsfield-Jackson, Natalie Fultz for Good Day Atlanta.
All right, Natalie, thank you. Patience is a lot to ask at this point. Thank you, though.